Welcome to YBS Lifestyle. It's 14th of June 2024. Imagine there's a new superhero vaccine that can protect people from being sick, but some people aren't sure if they want to take it because they have heard scary stories about the vaccine turning people into zombies. Okay, that might be an exaggeration, but you get the idea. Vaccine hesitancy is when people are unsure or hesitant about getting vaccinated, usually because they are worried about potential side effects, or they don't trust the vaccine. Misinformation and when false or misleading information spreads around, like those zombie stories. Sometimes people share misinformation without realizing it, but other times it's spread on purpose to make people scared or confused. Vaccine hesitancy and misinformation can be really dangerous because they can lead to more people getting sick. If not getting people get vaccinated, it's harder to stop the spread of diseases like measles, polio, or covid-19. So what can we do to fight vaccine hesitancy and misinformation? uh, First point is share accurate information. It's essential to share accurate information about vaccines from reliable sources like doctors, scientists, and public health organizations. This can help. Uh, this can help to counter misinformation and give people the facts they need to make informed decisions. Second point is listen and understand. Listen of dismissing people's concerns about vaccines. It's an essential to listen to their worries and try to understand why they are coming from. Some people sometimes just having a conversation and addressing someone's concern can help ease their fears. Third point is lead by example. If you gotten vaccinated, share your experience with others. Let them know why you chose to get vaccinated and how it helped protect you and your community. Fourth point is supportive communities. Building supportive communities where people can ask questions, share information, and support each other, and can help combat vaccine hesitancy. When people feel supported and informed, they are more likely to make healthy choices for themselves and for their families. By working together to address vaccine hesitancy and misinformation, we can also protect ourselves and our communities from preventable diseases and build a healthier, safer world for everyone. Our next topic is chronic disease management. Imagine your body is like a car. Just like a car needs regular maintenance to keep running smoothly, our bodies need care to stay healthy. Sometimes, our bodies can develop long lasting problems called chronic diseases. Chronic diseases are conditions that stick around for a long time, often for the rest of your life. Things like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer are all examples of chronic diseases. These conditions can't usually be cured, but they can be managed with the right care and treatment. Managing a chronic disease is like being the captain of your own health ship. You need to steer your ship in the right direction by making healthy choices and following your doctor's advice. Here are some few things that you might need to do to manage your chronic disease. First one is medications. Some chronic diseases require medications to help control symptoms and prevent complications. It's essential to take care to take your medications exactly as prescribed by your doctor, and to let them know if you are having any side effects. Second point is lifestyle changes. Making healthy lifestyle choices can help manage chronic diseases. This might include things like eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, quitting smoking, and managing stress. Third point is regular checkups. Seeing your doctor regularly is crucial for managing a chronic disease. They can monitor your condition, adjust your treatment plan as needed, and catch any problems early before they become serious. Fourth point is network support. Dealing with a chronic disease can be challenging, so it's essential to have a support network of family, friends, and healthcare providers who can help you along the way. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Fifth point is education. Understanding your condition and how you manage it is the key to staying healthy. Uh, Take the time to learn about your disease, ask questions, and stay informed about new treatments and developments. Managing a chronic disease can be a journey when it's ups and downs, but with the right care and support, it's possible to live a full and active life. Remember, you're not alone, and there are people and resources available to help you every step of the way. So this is our next topic is I don't know its name, but let's start it. Yeah, this topic is the impact of social media on our mental health, and I will be explaining in simple terms. Imagine you have a magical book where you can see what everyone in the world is doing and saying at the moment, but it's like a bit but that's bit like social media. It's place where people share photos, videos, and thoughts with each other. Now think about how you feel when you see someone on social media having fun with their friends or going on a cool vacation. You might feel happy for them, but sometimes you might also feel a bit jealous or left out, right? That's because social media can make us compare ourselves to the others and feel like we're not good enough. But that's not all. Sometimes people on social media only show the good parts of their lives and leave out the bad stuff. It's like looking at a highlight reel or someone's life, and it can make us feel like everyone else has it better than us. All these feelings of comparison, jealousy, and inequivalency can take a toll on our mental health. They can make us feel anxious, depressed, or even lonely. Plus, spending too much time on social media can distract us from other productive things. Here's the good news. There are things we can do to take care of our mental health while still enjoying social media. We can limit how much time we spend on social media each day, unfollow account that make us feel bad about ourselves, and remind ourselves that what we see on social media isn't always the whole story. We can also use social media in positive ways, like connecting with friends, family, and finding support and resource for our mental health, and sharing our struggles and success to help others feel less alone. Um so while social media can have both positive and negative effects on our health, it's essential to find a balance that works for us and prioritize taking care of our well-being both online and offline. We can also use social media in positive ways, like connecting with our friends and family, finding support and resources for our mental health, and sharing our own struggles and success to help others feel less alone. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching YBS Lifestyle till the end.